and the audio, so I'm hoping that the audio is working now. The three cards for today were the Beauty Way, Azem, and Rebirth. The Beauty Way is about following your path, and the path is where you choose to perceive only beauty before you, behind you, and all around you. The practice is where you take action. And the medicine is stop trying to fix relationships that you believe are broken, recognizing that things are exactly as they need to be, and acknowledge the inherent beauty in that. And when understanding that, you were able to bring about the change you want, not engaging in gossip about darkness and flaws. And there's Elizabeth. Be careful not to be seduced by superficial beauty of a project or relationship you're toying with. So the Beauty Way is a lot about, if you're here in a meat suit running around, you're here for a reason. You're here to unwind karma, or you're here to do the heavy work, right? And yes, we're back, Elizabeth. And one of the big things that the Beauty Way card reinforces for me, coming back to daily devotionals and really trying to like come back to the things that bring community together and help me feel like I'm out front doing the thing, is honoring that the world is burning down, right? Like, we are in the midst of the cataclysm, and it's going to get worse, unfortunately. And I know that I've said that for a while, and those of you who know me know that I have been saying it for a while. But this is the thing. Everybody has the choice and the ability to take actions that align with their purpose. And you may not know what your purpose is. That's not the point. You don't have to know what your purpose is. You don't have to know the big overarching reason for being here. Okay, you don't. You can have the feeling that you have purpose. And as long as you're moving and connecting with community, and you might stumble and fall. Oh my goodness, the communities I belong to in the past that have fallen apart, that have imploded, that have things, right? Just things. Well, all those community experiences, all those beautiful souls I've met have taught me amazing things. And as I continue to grow and as I continue to be out in the world, all of those experiences continue to teach me, and they will continue to teach you. So I can't tell somebody not to be afraid. I can't tell somebody not to be disappointed. I can't tell somebody not to be ashamed or be embarrassed by things. I can't tell somebody not to feel something, right? What I can do is be part of holding space and community space for people to experience those shadowed things and then find their own beauty way, find their connection to their purpose and their light and their reason for being here. And not in a toxic way either. I mean, this card, the second card, Azem, is about creative souls, multiple paths, being available to these things, and then trying to find a practical way to hold true to whatever your purpose is, holding your purpose in your life. And Rebirth, the card for Rebirth, is about the shedding of the old ways. One of the things that I've been away from daily devotionals for quite some time, and one of the things that I sat with for quite some time is what's my purpose for daily devotionals? And I've said it in many previous ones, is that it's for community. It's for me. It's for accountability for me, that I'm doing my daily devotionals every day. And originally it's because I was having a hard time being consistent with that. And somebody with autism and ADHD, like, that's a thing. Consistency is hard sometimes. But I used the platform of daily devotional to help me remain true to my path. It gave me an actionable thing. It helped me feel like I was reaching out to community, right? And holding on to that beauty way. Now, then I quit doing daily devotionals live. I quit doing them on the internet. And life happened. And in that life happening, I found a whole wonderful amount of vocabulary. Yes, consistency is its own whole challenge, right? But I've also discovered a whole nother set of vocabulary. And that vocabulary has helped me frame difficult things that I felt deeply about, but not always had the words to articulate very specifically what it is that guides have been telling me, or messaging, or visions, or, I mean, I'm a psychic catalyst. I'm a psychic catalyst. I'm a coach. I'm an energy healer. I'm a teacher. I am definitely a teacher. And when a teacher doesn't have the right words, let me tell you, it's hard. And the truth speaking part is also hard when you don't have the right words. And words are hard. So we know that the world is awful right now. We know that. Anybody in your world that is not willing to talk about that and process that, you need to evaluate who they are in your life, where they are in your life, and if you can hold space for them. Because this is the thing. We're all struggling. We're all struggling with the cataclysm. And it's going to get worse. And there will be a turning point. I don't know when it is. Haven't seen that yet. Haven't been told about that yet. I just keep getting warned it's going to get worse. So having community and knowing who your community is so essential. And community is not what the patriarchal Western paradigm colonial perspective is of community. That is not community. Community is holding space no matter who comes into that space and how they come into that space, and giving them a paradigm, giving them a container to hold who they are no matter how they show up, okay? Say you've got somebody in your community who's just, they want so much to be a part of the community, but they trauma dump, right? Like you have a big gathering and they're the one person in the room who's trauma dumping. That's okay. It is, it's okay. How do you give that person the nurturing, the connection, the container, the healing quality of having community, and also help them figure out who to talk to do the trauma dumping part, right? To process, because they may be a verbal processor. That's a whole thing. I'm a verbal processor. What do you think I do daily devotions for? It's a processing thing. I was in my 50s before I discovered, oh yeah, I'm a verbal processor. I mean, I think I was probably in my late 40s, but this is the thing. When we look at what the Beauty Way is trying to tell us, is that it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be in a place where you need to process things, right? But it's also vitally important that you have a container of community that everybody feels seen, everybody feels heard, everybody feels that they can contribute. Nobody wants to not belong, right? Everybody wants to belong. People talk about this illusion called the male loneliness epidemic, which is also not a thing, because there's a whole vast part of the population that is feeling left out. Well, being left out is also because when you've been the spoiled child in the room, we all know this, we've all seen it, we've been in spaces where a child has never been told no, right? And all of a sudden you're telling the child no, they're gonna have a conniption fit. Of course they are, because that's what children do. And we need places that these people can relearn how to be in a space where they're not the center of attention anymore, right? And what does that look like in a community? Now, I'm not saying that I have the answer to what is community. I am not the expert here. I may do daily devotions. I might be a psychic. I might be a teacher, but I am not the end of all answers. I am not an expert. I am just another person working through and very willing to share my journey. I'm willing to be the face out there on daily devotionals. Yes, I'm 100% willing to do that. And to fall on my face, bleed in front of the camera, face plant, make epic mistakes, because there is a vulnerability that I'm willing to be out in front to do that. But I'm not out in front to lead anyone. I want to bring everyone with me. I want everyone to be in a circle around me, holding their own power. And that's what these cards reinforce. These cards are reinforcing that holding that space, that beauty way, and not falling into the trap of toxic positivity, which is awful. Like, not everything is sunshine and rainbows. It just isn't. There's shitty days. There's days when you feel awful. You feel like nothing that you can do is right. Whatever it is, you don't have any money. You can't buy food. You have no gas money. That your kids have been called off to war, or you've been called off to war, or you've been put in a concentration camp. I mean, I'm still surprised somebody hasn't knocked on my door. And also, I'm very aware that what I appear to be is a privilege. And I'm very aware that that privilege has its responsibilities. And I'm willing to shoulder that responsibility. SM talks very much about the layers of figuring what it is that you're following in your purpose. And part of finding your purpose is also falling on your face and failing. You're going to fail. Yes, Elizabeth, we do what we can with what we have. And that is part of the journey. Part of being in community is figuring out what you bring to the community. And until you've been in a variety of communities, and I can't say that I've done it all well, I'm starting, I think, to sort of figure out what that kind of looks like, but I don't have all the answers. I'm not the expert. And there are lots of books out there about what people think community is. I still think, looking back at our indigenous elders, our ancestors, looking at our various different cultural ways of doing things pre-colonial is a good way to start. But we've been in a patriarchal worldview, I use that word loosely, but Eurocentric worldview, we have a 3,000-year-old toxic patriarchy to break it down and rebuild something else. And rebirth is part of that. Part of the cataclysm is going through the dark time and rebirthing out the other side. We have choices to make every single day. And every prophecy you read talks about the choice that you have. And one of the things as a bio number 3 that I know is that I cannot interfere with people's choices. Because if I interfere with people's choices, I have instant karma. Instant karma, because I'm a bio number 3. It took me a long time to put that in an articulated way, but that is a real thing. Not every bio number gets that right away, but that's why 3s, bio number 3s like myself, we sometimes hem and haw around the edges of things because we're really, really aware that interfering with somebody's innate soul choice, they have a blueprint, and their blueprint gives them choices. But when you interfere with somebody else's choice, there's karma there. And I don't want to accrue karma, right? I want to unwind whatever karma I have, and I want to be here to hold that space for whatever it is I'm supposed to be here for during the cataclysm. I'm still figuring out what that is. And that's what these cards are reinforcing. The rebirth and the dark time of the cataclysm is finding where your community is and what your community is and where it is in this tiered weird layer of how we live. Because you have your family community. I have a beautiful chosen family. I have blood family that I still dearly love, that I don't have as much communication with. I have my wider community, which are, you know, my practicum and my volunteer work and my business, and I have that community. And then I belong to the larger community, like the area in which I live and my neighborhood, which I only know 3 of my neighbors. And I still am trying to figure out how to broaden that. And then I belong to a state community, right? Montana has one of the strongest constitutions in the United States. What does that mean? I know it has a purpose, but I don't know what the purpose is. I know it's powerful, but I have no idea how to make that make sense because it's too big for me. Once I get that big, it just gets this erroneous, big, amorphous something, right? What can I focus on? Where does my efforts and my energy need to go? And that's what these cards today are asking you, the community, and anyone who watches this later, both of the videos, one without sound apparently when we lost it, and this one, which is, can you hold the beauty way, right? Like what can you do for this? And I'll read it again. The beauty way is both the path that you travel on a daily practice. The path is where you choose to perceive only beauty before you, behind you, and all around you in the journey of life. The practice is where you take action to bring beauty into every situation. And I translate that into love, right? When things get ugly, you act to bring integrity and peace into the difficult encounter. When everyone else perceives only darkness, you point out the light to help uncover hidden treasures. That does not mean you're the toxic positive one in the room, because you have to stop fixing the relationships that you believe are broken. Recognize that things are exactly as they need to be in the moment, even when you're uncomfortable. Being comfortable with being uncomfortable is part of growth, and it's hard. Don't engage in the gossip about the darkness and the flaws of others. Be careful not to be seduced by superficial beauty of a project or relationship you're toying with, unless you're willing to pay the price for it later. Be authentic, be real. And then I'm going to read Azem again. Creative souls with numerous abilities and potential paths available to them can at times become overwhelmed with possibilities. In the quest to accomplish the grand design, whatever that is, right, and expand further, one may get caught up in the dream and sometimes lose sight of the core mission. Seek sacred simplicity. Become clear about the fundamental purpose, and meaningful intention will support you in making choices that best honor your soul's fruition. It will honor the thing you're here to do in this shadowed, cataclysmic time. Overcoming potential distractions. Release excess to ensure swifter progress towards your real, heartfelt goals. With a practical plan that stays true to your soul's values, you will make exceptional progress and earn juicy rewards. And remember, the dark time is very much about rebirth. It's shedding the old skin. That's what rebirth is. This is the snake, shedding old skin. I love that this has the sun and the moon, because the rebalancing of the world does require coming into equilibrium and reciprocity and male and female relations, as well as the dynamic of all of the other representations in the world. We can't do it all. And I will leave you with this personal story. I have been told for years, you're such a leader, Red. You're such a natural leader. And I roll my eyes and I quail and I'm very uncomfortable. I have been uncomfortable with that from day one. I don't like it. I don't like the word. I don't like what it entails. Because when someone tells me you're such a leader, what I hear is a hierarchy. And that feels icky to me. But I do know in recent times, right, that what people are trying to tell me is something I think I can embrace, which is I'm willing to be on daily devotionals. I'm willing to put my face out there. I'm very aware that my quote unquote white privilege gives me the ability to say things to my brothers and sisters that are also white in a way, in a pushback way that's authentic and real and uncomfortable for them. And that there is a perception of safety. That safety is not real, and I'm very well aware of that. But that also means that the entire journey of the 50 plus years of my life have brought me to a place where I can push back and hold space for those that I want to welcome into that. I want to welcome my Indigenous brothers and sisters. I want to welcome in my neurodivergent, LGBTQ, queer, and trans and gay and lesbian friends and community that I belong to. I want to bring those people into this space and anchor safe spaces. And I want to talk about who we are as spiritual beings in a way that's real and functional and anchored and not woven into cult-like paradigms and black and white perceptions. And I want to genuinely dismantle the cult hierarchies because they're toxic. I have not met one person yet who does not have some kind of toxic experience with cults. It just happens. And that is very much what these cards are reinforcing, and reinforcing that my choice today of coming onto Daily Devotionals Live is real and reinforced, and universe is ready for the next chapter. And I'm ready for the next chapter. So thank you so much for joining me. I see you keep chatting, Elizabeth. I don't catch it all. I scan. But share daily devotionals. Go back. Watch some of the old ones. Share them with your friends. Share them on social media. Cut and paste them. Remix them. Because I can't be out doing all the things, but I can do this. And if there is a favorite thing on past daily devotionals or any future ones that you watch that you feel says the thing, share that. Because we need each other. And as somebody who's a psychic catalyst, a teacher, a seer, a truth speaker, a medicine keeper, I can't be everywhere, and I don't know how to do the big things. I can only do the tiny little specific things. I lean on you, my community, whoever you are. I know that I have followers in a lot of places in the world, and I lean on you to follow your intuition and follow your need to share with your communities, because there are people out in the world that I lean on too, because we all have amazing gifts and we're here for a reason, and none of us can do it all. I am not supposed to do it all, and neither are you. We need each other. So have a blessed day. Thank you for joining me on Daily Devotionals. Hit like, subscribe, all the things, because I don't know how to do all that. I love you all very much. My heart goes out to you in this dark time, and there is light in the darkness, and you are that light. I love you, Elizabeth. I love you all who have joined yesterday, tomorrow, today, and in the future. Bye-bye. Blessed be.